and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be continuing on my client Tanisha. I always start my day by making sure my station is set up with everything I need. Setting up my tattoo station is kind of like a ritual. It gets me in the mindset to start the day. Since I usually tattoo for around 7 hours, it's good to make sure that I have everything I need. Since today I'll be focusing on the background, I'll be using gray wash and later on start with some colors. I like to make sure that my inks are a gradient from darkest to lightest, although they all look the same here. Once she arrives, we'll get started right away. We did the first session on this back piece a couple of months ago, and now it's the second session. This design was inspired by her love for fantasy from books, game, and art, such as Dungeons and Dragons. Here you can see me working from light to dark, ensuring that I blend the background as smooth as possible. Tanisha is a regular client of mine and she always gives me freedom to create the design when it comes to her tattoos. This lets me create in a way that I imagine fits her ideas and interests. And since I already know her, I did my best to design it in a way that fits her personality. Her original idea was to tattoo 2 dragons on the back. She wasn't so sure about it and also mentioned a phoenix as another possible motive. Since we've already tattooed an oriental dragon on her right arm, we went with a wyvern instead. I sketched out a couple of concepts and landed on the wyvern and phoenix flying in the night sky. She immediately fell in love with the sketch and we continued the process. I also asked my clients to stand up several times in this process to see how the tattoo looks while they're standing. This is because when they're laying down or sitting, the design is slightly distorted and I want to make sure that it looks good while they're standing in their natural position. For the colors, first I thought I didn't want it to be too colorful like a rainbow, but then I thought of a nice contrast between 2 tones that are not from the opposite color spectrum. The background will be in black and gray while the 2 mythical creatures will stand out in their colors. In between, I have to move the chair around so I can easily access the other side of her back. She got cold here, so I gave her a blanket as well. This is really common during long tattoo sessions as the client is sitting and doing absolutely nothing. Sometimes I like to chat during our tattoo sessions, so long as it doesn't bother the actual tattooing itself, as some placements are much more moving than others, for example, the arm. This is also my first phoenix tattoo. I always found them so hard to draw and hard to make look really good, but I'm really happy with the way this one came out. I'm always happy to answer questions about the tattoo process for my clients. I would also be curious about it myself if I didn't know.
Easier to tattoo because it's just like one color and it's just like all along. Or just like somewhat the
No,
same?
actually it's more difficult, I guess. I mean, it depends on if you're talking about like a surface area versus a specific area. Like large flat surfaces are easier to tattoo. But for example, I mean with color it's alright, but with shading, for example, if you need to do a large part that's just one tone, that's quite difficult. Because you have to be very consistent, very gentle, very smooth, so to say. But with the back has a lot of tricky areas. Like this lower area, it's the most stretchy. So it's you have to put a lot of effort to just stretch the skin. But for the rest, like the upper part is pretty chill.
And because it's already stretched out because there's like bone.
I'm really looking forward to finishing this piece next time and showing you the result of her back. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!